Needs-based recruitment interview. I mean, you can call it by different name, but I feel needs-based is what it is. It's the candidate's needs that we are talking about. Just like needs-based selling, this is a needs-based recruitment interview. There are basically 4 steps here, if you can see. The first step is really about asking for the candidate's input. What important criteria would make that an ideal career? So I will ask Maureen in your case, and you keep telling me, and I keep probing and probing to a point where you almost give up. I will keep prompting you with those that I know may have an impact. And true enough, you say, oh yeah, that's important, and that's important. So that first stage of brainstorming is really important because you want to have an exhaustive list to choose from. The second step would be, so Maureen, suppose you can only choose 3. Which would be your top 3? So the idea is to have that list as long as you can, that makes sense to the person, and then choose from that list. So a 3 out of 6, 3 out of 7, it's a pretty good range. Once you identify the top 3, is to go horizontal. That is, starting with number 1, on a scale of 1 to 10, we do scaling. The goal is to do where are you right now on a scale of 1 to 10. And then the step 3 basically is to ask for, so where would you like to go? Now, when we say where you like to go, we are now focusing on ideal career. It's about where do you really want to be. This is the part we allow the candidate to dream. And that's truly it, What do you want? If you have nothing stopping you, and people will tell you their dreams, they say, oh, I love to have, able to earn as much money. And of course, we'll have to quantify what is a lot of money. And I want to have an enjoyable life, work-life balance. Whatever they tell us, that's their dream. We are not there to be a judge, We just take it in and then just ask them to elaborate. Rather than I describe, I will let the candidate describe. Because when the candidate describes, she's telling me what she's thinking that is important to her, and I want to capture that. And that's why it's very important that we write down keywords, so that later on, when the whole process is over, I can repeat back what I heard. And from the candidate's point of view, wow, this person really cares about what I tell him because he bothered to repeat back exactly what I said. Although it looks pretty fluid, it can go any direction, but in reality, you look at it, it's about the same. I mean, it's always about income, it's about independence, it's about impact. These are the 3 I's that Mr. Phil Richards, another legend, talked about all the time. So our goal is, through the conversation, help the candidate identify those areas. And once I identify the areas, even more important would be the gap. Is there a gap? I would then ask myself, can my career or business opportunity help you to achieve this? That would be the first thing on my mind. Now, in the event that if my career cannot help you, I'll be brutally honest with you. It's really great to know you. However, I don't think it's a good fit. Then that'll be the end of the process. And that's perfectly fine. That's being honest with each other. However, the chance of that happening is very, very slim based on my experience. Perhaps every 100, maybe 99, there's something we can help them about. So based on that 99, I will look at it as, okay, now with this gap, if you remember my question to you earlier on is, now Maureen, if there is a career or business opportunity that can help you achieve all 3, would you like to know more? That is my question to you to sell my next step. Because now that you say, sure, I'll be dying to hear what's that. Great. Now is what we call business opportunity presentation. So whichever company you represent, is the time to pull out your stuff and start sharing. However, now that you have measured, see me as though I'm like a tailor. I've done all the measurements, and now I'm going to tailor-make you a suit or a dress. Right? So therefore, I should not then go to the rack and pull out one standard dress and say, hey, I think this is for you. Then what's the point of me measuring in the first place? So in my case, I would say, out of the business opportunity where maybe there are 15 or 20 real benefits our business can give, I would pick that top 3 to match this top 3 of the candidate. So I mean, our career can give you a lot of stuff like, travel every year, you can do this, you can do that, but to you, that may not matter at all. The idea is to really get you attracted to it, says, wow, I didn't know that this business can do that. Then of course we can talk about the next step. Now I kind of sell you into the business. Now that you are almost coming in, it's my turn to sell you out of the business. That's the whole idea, and that's where my selection begins. So that's the end of my recruitment, but beginning of selection.